Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Noch mehr Schiffwracks. Schätze mal, wir sind wirklich gestrandet hier. Du merkst, jede Sekunde plötzlich aus dem hohen Gras ein Pokémon rausspringt. Ernsthaft, wenn Pokémon in 3D umgesetzt werden würde, in realistisch würde es genauso aussehen. Und irgendwo da drin würden dann, ja, keine Ahnung, Ratifatz herumtanzen. Noch eher nach Sackgasse aus da hinten.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
Die mir die Frage stelle ist, ob man Esther spielt oder ob man selbst der Schreiber ist, der einfach von der Insel an Esther schrieb. Naja. Die Zeit wird es hoffentlich aufklären hier. Absolut trostlos.
I've begun to wonder if Donnelly's voyage here was as prosaic as it was presented. How disappointed not to have found the bones of the holy man. No wonder he hated the inhabitants so. To him they must have seemed like barnacles mindlessly clinging to a mercy seat. Why cling so hard to the rock? Because it is the only thing that stops us from sliding into the ocean. Into oblivion.
Immer höher auf den Berg. Bin ich gekommen von da? Sieht doch voll so aus. Ich bin doch genau von hier gekommen. Dann da runter gewandert. Komme ich da rauf? Das sah doch absolut so aus, als könnte man da hochgehen. Oder ich muss hier rauf gehen. Hast du es vorher nicht gesehen? Viele leere Kilometer, wirklich, muss man schon sagen. Aber die Person hier möchte ja auch nicht rennen. Aber gut, macht schon Sinn, sonst würden wir die Trigger wahrscheinlich verpassen, an denen auch hier der Erzähler anfängt, seine Sätze abzulesen. Und das wollen wir nicht.
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic. Your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Runter oder oben bleiben? Ein Häuschen. Bin über alles zufrieden, was nicht Schiffswrack und leere Wälder sind.
I've begun my ascent on the windless slope of the western side. The setting sun was an inflamed eye squeezing shut against the light shone in by the doctors. My neck is aching through constantly craning my head up to track the light of the aerial. I must look downwards, follow the path under the island to a new beginning.
Interesting.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either. Three cormorants seen at dusk. They did not land. This house built of stone, built by a long-dead shepherd. Contents: my camp bed, a stove, a table, chairs, my clothes, my books. The caves that score out the belly of this island, leaving it famished. My limbs and belly famished. This skin, these organs, this failing eyesight. When the battery runs out in my torch, I will descend into the caves and follow only the phosphorescence home.
Was passiert eigentlich, wenn ich da runterspringe? Schauen wir mal.
Come back.
Okay, pretty much nothing. Come back. War nicht. Ich finde, das Spiel lebt extrem vom Sound. Das ist der Grund, warum es mit dem Soundtrack verkauft wird aktuell auf Steam. Na, gehst du wohin oder ist es nur irgendein schmaler Weg, der keiner
What to make of Donnelly, the laudanum and the syphilis? It is clearly not how he began, but I've been unable to discover if the former was a result of his visiting the island or the force that drove him here. For the syphilis, a drunk driver smashing his insides into a pulp as he stumbled these paths, I can only offer my empathy. We're all victims of our age. My disease is the internal combustion engine and the cheap fermentation of yeast. They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. His fingernails were raw and bitten to the quick. They found the phosphorescent moss that grows in the caves deep under the nails. Whatever he'd been doing under the island when his strength began to fail is lost. He'd struggled halfway up the cliff again, perhaps in a delirium, perhaps trying to reach the Bothy's fire before curling into a stone and expiring.
Auch wenn das teilweise viele Jahre Kilometer sind, muss ich schon sagen, rein so von der Erzählung her ist es schon sehr nett. Man will zumindest wissen, was hier eigentlich geht und was es mit der Geschichte auf sich hat.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the Bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Oh, this looks nice. Aha, Katze.